All right, the historical prices of a car are recorded for 17 years as shown. Construct a scatter plot for the data. Determine the exponential depreciation formula that models this data, rounding to the nearest hundredth. Determine the depreciation rate, and then predict the value of this car after 140 months. So this is going to be primarily a lot of calculator work. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that everything is set up on the calculator. So we're going to go to second y equals. We're going to make sure that our plots are on. Right now the plot is off. So we want to hit enter. And we want to turn it on, so press enter again. So now the darkened is on the on. Okay, so we set our plot on. We want to go to our y equals. And we want to make sure that there are no equations in any of the the editing table, the equation editing table. Okay, if you do see one, so for instance, if I had something here like, maybe 3x plus 5, okay, you'd want to make sure that you clear that off, right? You'd want to hit clear to make sure that that was cleared off. Okay, so that being said, we are now going to go to stat and edit, and you'll see here that in L1 and L2 we're going to put our data. L1 is going to be the ages 0 through 16, and L2 is going to contain the values from 42,000 all the way down to 6,290. So on L1, now you can use your 10 key here. You're just going to 0, enter, 1, enter, 2, enter, and then do this all the way to 16. Okay, once we've gotten to 16, arrow to the right one, and now we'll enter the values. 42,000, 37,420, 34,000, 29,400, 26,200, 23,700, 20,990, 18,200, 16,876. Oh, there's an error. 16,876. Then we're on year 9, which is 14,800. 10 is 13,000. Year 11 is 11,245. Year 12 is 10,211. And 13 is 9,400. And then 8,100. And then 7,500. And year 16, 6,290. Okay, so we've gotten all the data in. We're going to go second mode. If you notice here, the yellow, it says second quit. Second mode. Okay. We are now going to go to our window, and we're going to set the window up starting with the x values. So think of a graph. We're going to start with our x min being 0. Hit enter. Let's try that again. Hit enter. And our x max is 16, so let's go 20. We'll go out there to 20. And we'll hit the scale markings of 1. Actually, let's make it 2. Okay. And y min is going to be 0. And our Y max 42. So what's the maximum value? Let's go 45,000. A little bit above our maximum value. And we'll go 4,500 for the scale. Okay. All right. And we've got our plots on. So we should, if we graph this, that should be what our graph will look like. Okay. Now, in order to, so we just did A. We constructed a scatter plot for the data. Okay. Now, once you've gotten that scatter plot, now we want to determine the formula that models this data. So we're going to go stat. We are going to go, oh, I take that back. Let's quit that for a minute. First thing we want to do is we want to go second catalog. We want to turn our diagnostics on. So you're going to arrow down until you get to diagnostic on. Hit enter twice. Now you're going to go stat, calc. You're going to arrow to 0, which is exponential regression. You can either arrow up or down. It'll get you there. Hit enter. Let's try that again. Hit enter. And now we want to input the data into that regression. So our data is found in L1 and L2. So second 1 will generate L1. Follow that by a comma, which is right above the 7. Second 2 will generate L2. Follow that by a comma. And now we're going to press the vars key, arrow to the y vars. Function is already highlighted. Hit enter. And we want to put this function or equation into the y1 in our equation editor. So hit enter again. So our command then, exponential regression, L1, comma L2, comma y1 should be sufficient to do the things we need to do. Hit enter. All right, so we now have an exponential regression in the form of a times b to the x, with a being $42,228.36. So if I were to write this out, which I'm about ready to do, so this is b right here. So b is going to be y equals 42,228 and 36 cents. That's being multiplied by 0.89, if I round that, to the x power. Okay, so this is my A right here. This is my B. Remember, this is in the form y is equal to A times B to the x. Okay. Now, they ask you for the rate depreciation rate, and so what you want to do is remember that B is equal to 1 minus R, which then follows that R is equal to 1 minus B. So in order to find our R, which is the depreciation rate, we're simply going to go 1 minus 0.89, which gives us R is approximately 0.11, which if I were to take 0.11 and multiply it by 100, will give me 11%. Okay? So here they want you to predict the value of the car after 140 months. So there's a couple ways we can do this. We can hit the graph, and you should see a line coming through this, okay? And then we hit trace. We want to arrow down, okay? Now remember, this is in years, right? This is in years. So we need to come over here and figure out, well, how much? What's 140 months in years? 140 divided by 12 is almost 11 something, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, 12 into 140. There's once, 12, 20, once, 12, 8, down 0, 6, 72, 18. Oh wait, can I go 7? No, 7 times 12 is 84. That won't work. 6 times 12 is 72. 10 minus 2 is 8. Okay. So 11 and 2/3 years, right? 11 and 2/3 years. So if we go 11.66, so what you do is you hit trace, arrow down, and type in 11.66, hit enter. So it gives you a value of 107,361.12. 107,361, 107, oh, 10,736, sorry. 10,736.12. Now you notice that's off a little bit here. That's because we rounded the years. If I didn't round the years, we would get an exact amount. Now the other way to do this, of course, is to take and plug this 140 months into X. And the way we would do that with the, let's just get the calculator going here. So I would take the formula that we had, 42,228.36, and I would times it by 0.89 raised to the 140 over 12. $10,843.12, which is exactly what the book had. So that is probably the most precise way to do it. Leaving that, if you have a month, make sure you just take that and divide it by 12, and that'll give you a precise number of years. So again, it was 42,228 and 36 cents times 0.89 raised, don't forget that caret, to the 140 over 12 power, which gave you 10,843 and $1.02.